Alright, so today's video is a bit different from my usual videos, but then again, I guess my usual videos don't exactly have a theme anyways. But today we're going to be doing a tier list, and we're going to be ranking cryptids based on how scary they are, or at least how scary I think they are. But first we got to drop some quick knowledge bombs to make sure we're all on the same page. So what are cryptids and what is cryptozoology? Cryptozoology is the search for and study of animals whose existence or survival is disputed or unsubstantiated, such as the Loch Ness Monster and the Yeti. And cryptids are the creatures themselves. Any creature that isn't scientifically identified but people debate on their existence, that's what a cryptid is. Okay, are we all on the same page now? Alright, good. Now that we all understand what's going on here is my scariest cryptids tier list. First on our list, and possibly the most popular cryptid, we have Bigfoot. Bigfoot is described as a large and mysterious humanoid creature standing anywhere from 6 to 15 feet tall that is claimed to inhabit the Pacific Northwest, with most sightings of Bigfoot being in Washington, Oregon, and Northern California. But there have been reported sightings of Bigfoot in a lot of other states as well, and even in British Columbia, Canada. Now, first off, 6 to 15 feet tall is kind of a pretty large fucking gap. But I guess maybe there's like baby Bigfoots, I don't know. But that does make it kind of hard to decide what tier to put it in, because Bigfoot might be barely making NBA height requirements. I mean, if that's the case, I may as well throw Shaq, Yao Ming, and like Zion Williamson on here. But I'll just go somewhere in the middle and say Bigfoot would be roughly 9'11", 10 feet on a good day, and maybe 10'1" with the right shoes on. Now, I also got to consider the fact that a lot of people actually see Bigfoot as a guardian of the forest, while others see Bigfoot in the opposite light, as a violent, aggressive monster. Okay, you know what? I guess I'll just go with the overall vibe that I get. And to me, Bigfoot seems like it would probably leave you alone if you leave it alone. So I'll probably put Italian Shaq in the observe from a distance tier. But it would be pretty cool to dap up Bigfoot. Just probably wouldn't try it. Next, we got the Loch Ness Monster, also known as Nessie. Lake Loch Ness is a large freshwater loch located in the Scottish Highlands and the presumed home of the famous Loch Ness Monster. The first modern sighting of the Loch Ness Monster was in 1933 by a water bailiff, which is like the water police. And since then, reports have continued, including the famous photo I'm sure most of you have probably seen at some point. The Loch Ness Monster is described as a large sea creature with a long neck, with many sightings claiming it to look like some sort of dinosaur or large serpent. Now, as for its fear factor, I mean, its nickname is Nessie, and it looks kind of like a vegetarian. Honestly, not even. It looks more like a vegan. Which is why I'm putting Nessie in the diarrhea myself tier, because vegans scare the shit out of me. Alright, grass munchers, just chill out, okay? I'm joking. But look, as cute as people try to make it seem, Nessie is a fucking giant sea monster. If I ran into this thing on the lake, where I would never be, by the way, because I have quite literally no business there, I would undoubtedly shit myself. And it doesn't help that I don't know how to swim. Yeah, I can't swim, alright? So what? Just hop off my meat. Now, while I probably would shit myself if I encountered this giant rubbery vegan monster, I'm going to put Nessie in the make unexplainable noises tier, because I don't see the Loch Ness Monster as being overly aggressive. And if it was, I don't think it would eat me, but probably drag me into the murky depths of Loch Ness. But if it was aggressive, that would definitely put it in the crying curdle into a ball tier. Next on our list, we got Mothman. Now, Mothman is described as a humanoid creature with large wings and glowing red eyes, and was first reported in the small town of Point Pleasant, West Virginia. Ironic name. The first sighting of Mothman was reported in 1966 by two couples driving through Point Pleasant when they spotted what appeared to be a large man with wings standing in the middle of the road. Get out the street, weirdo! They described the creature being between 6 to 7 feet tall with glowing red eyes and a 10-foot wingspan. Hold on, wait 1 second. Alright, I think I may be onto something, but we'll save that for another video. Now, obviously, the group was a bit startled, given the fact that they were looking at a fucking moth monster. So they sped off, only to run into the creature again, that then started chasing them. The group reached speeds up to 100 miles an hour, with the creature managing to keep up with them until eventually leaving them alone. Alright, I'm just gonna put that right there. Look, some people say the Mothman is a warning of danger, while other origin stories say that the Mothman was a curse left on the town of Point Pleasant by Cornstalk, a Native American leader in the late 1700s. Regardless, the shit is fucking scary. It can fly at speeds of up to 100 miles an hour and possibly faster. Yeah, I'd have a better chance at dunking from the half-court line than escaping COVID man over here. But yeah, Mothman, diarrhea myself tier, for sure. For our next cryptid on the list, we got the Fresno Nightcrawlers. Now, the Fresno Nightcrawler was first reported in Fresno, California in 2007 by Jose. Just Jose, that's it. Jose managed to catch the creatures on video outside his house sometime past midnight, and since then there have been many reported sightings and even a second video of the creatures. The Fresno Nightcrawlers are described as, well, like pants with a head, and they're always spotted in pairs or groups. As for scariness, I mean, I guess if you're scared of spilling food on yourself, these would be a pretty scary pair of pants to own. And I mean, seeing them up close, if they were like made of skin, would be pretty gross, but they're just legs. They'd probably be good for like a soccer game, but they can't even kidnap you or anything, and I'm pretty sure they can't eat you. Honestly, I feel like I've seen them at my local thrift store before. And the tallest one is like 4 foot. So I mean, if you lose a scrap to a 4 foot pair of legs, that's just a you problem. And they seem pretty chill for real. So I'm going to be putting the hand-me-down Helians in the dap 'em up tier. Now this next cryptid's origins date back to the 1700s in the state of New Jersey. Okay, hold on, let me just... The story starts with the Leeds family. Miss Leeds was about to give birth to her 13th child. But you see, the Leeds family was pretty damn broke. I know how you feel, Leeds family. Trust me, I know how you feel. Mr. Leeds was a drunk, and Miss Leeds couldn't bear the idea of having to take care of any more children. Now, out of frustration, Miss Leeds screamed out that she wanted this child to be a devil, and soon she gave birth to a baby boy. But this baby boy soon transformed into a monster, with the body of a kangaroo, the head of a horse, but also like a goat, the tail of a lizard, with hooves instead of feet, and a large pair of wings. The creature screamed and proceeded to murder the entire family, then fly into the night sky. Yeah, pretty fucked up. And about 200 years later, there was a whole week period where the creature was reported regularly around the area, and people were so scared to go outside, they actually closed a lot of schools and factories for the week. So where would I rank this thing in terms of scariness? I mean, it definitely has a creepy origin story. The kangaroo part makes it a little funny for some reason, though. But all that being said, I feel like this creature is a combination of so many things, I wouldn't be able to even wrap my head around how I would stop it from killing me, which I feel like it would probably try to do. So I'd probably throw the Jersey Devil in the diarrhea tier, especially given the fact that it was spawned from a lady asking to birth a devil. So yeah, this thing would definitely cause some chocolate rain over here. Next up on our list, we got the Flatwoods Monster. The Flatwoods Monster was first sighted back in 1952 in the small town of Flatwoods, West Virginia. You know, I'm starting to notice a pattern here with all this West Virginia stuff. But yeah, a group of boys were outside playing when they noticed some type of object flying through the sky and crashing into the woods nearby. The boys rushed to tell one of their mothers what they saw, and she brought one of their neighbors with them, a National Guardsman, to go check it out, because that's always a great idea. We went over these genius type of ideas in this video, if you want to go check that out. When the group got to the crash site, they encountered a 10-foot creature appearing to float above the ground, with twisted claws wearing some type of metal dress looking thing, with glowing red eyes surrounded by an eerie mist. The creature levitated towards them, causing them to run away. After getting back home, the group all suffered from intense nausea, throat irritation, and vomiting, most likely caused by the eerie mist the creature was giving off. So where am I ranking this thing? I mean, it's basically just vision with a bowel problem. I guess it's probably an alien, so that's kind of scary, but it wears a dress. And other than having rancid booty mist, I don't think this thing is really trying so hard to hurt anything. So I'd probably put the butt booty bandit in the observe from a distance tier. And if I have a gas mask, then maybe even the attempt to communicate tier. But otherwise, I'm gonna stick to social distancing with bro. Now next on our list, we got the Chupacabra. The creature was first reported after dozens of farm animals were being bit in the neck and sucked dry. The Chupacabra was described as a small creature around 3 feet tall with wings and scales. Honestly, the description kind of varied, but it looked like a goblin dog basically. Years later, more reports of different chupacabras would be made in Mexico and the United States, with this version looking more like a hairless wild dog. So how scary is this creature? Honestly, the thing looks pretty damn frail, so one good punch to the ribs would probably take it out of commission. And the name Chupacabra actually translates to goat sucker in English, and I don't know if you're new around here, but I'm something of a goat myself. But yeah, Chupacabra, I guess if we round up both the versions, I'd throw it in the make unexplainable noises tier. Next on our list, we got the Mongolian deathworm. Said to live under the sands of the Gobi Desert in Mongolia, is a red worm-like creature that can grow up to 7 feet long, that can spit an acidic poison liquid, and some say it can even generate electricity. The Mongolian deathworm is said to pop out from under the sand on its prey and spray it with a deadly poison, killing them instantly. I have no reason whatsoever to be in this desert with these twinkle toe looking sand demons, but if I was, I would most certainly leave a streak of chocolate sauce across the sand before being dragged to my imminent doom. So the savage sausage links are easily a diarrhea tier. Next on our list, we got the Wendigo. Now this next cryptid is probably one you've already heard of before and originates in the Algonquin native tribe regions of northern North America, mainly Canada and some northern parts of the United States. It's believed that anyone who consumes human flesh will be taken over by a dark spirit, turning them into a monster known as the Wendigo. A large human-like creature that resembles a corpse, with long claws and fangs, sunken eyes, and no lips, with some Wendigo taking on animalistic features like horns or antlers. Wendigo are described as superhumanly strong and fast and regarded as perfect hunters, and they crave human flesh. They even have the ability to mimic human voices to lure in their prey. Alright, the Wendigo is easily diarrhea tier. Honestly, dare I say it's diarrhea plus tier, because this is easily the scariest cryptid in my opinion, or at least out of the list I got today. This shit is terrifying. If I ran into one of these flesh-eating skin sacks, I would easily proceed to throw up and shit myself while crying all at the same time. Running into a Wendigo would be worse than eating a laxative casserole. I mean, imagine some like child voice in the winter forest screaming for help, only to run into an overgrown, mutated, human flesh-craving Voldemort. This thing is like an MMA fighter crossed over with Smeagol, pumping with Bane serum that wants to eat you. I mean, look at this thing. It's... Alright, well, I gotta go now. Don't forget to leave a like. Next up, we got Owlman. Now, for this cryptid, we gotta take a trip over the ocean to Cornwall, England. Back in 1976, when two young girls spotted an owl-like humanoid with glowing red eyes on top of the roof of a church. After this, there was various reports of Owlman, with many saying the creature would shriek loudly. As for attacks, there was reports of the creature attacking a man at night when him and his friends went to the Monon Smith Church to investigate the Owlman and other ghostly activity.
Hello there, my good fellow. There appears to be some type of bird-like creature there on the roof of the church, yeah? What say you we check it out then, yeah? Have you gone mad, mate? Oh, shit.
Now, to my UK viewers, my apologies, bros. It's just a joke, innit? As for the shitty accent, I have no excuses for that one, I'll be honest. You're probably cringing right now. Anyways. Now, honestly, this one is real similar to another creature on this list, but this DLC cryptid didn't drop till over 10 years later. Now, Owlman does haunt a church and the forest around it, supposedly, so this kind of makes it a bit creepier, but it just feels like a British Mothman, which just isn't as scary for some reason. So I'm going to put this one in the make unexplainable noises tier. Next, we got the Yeti, also known as the Abominable Snowman. The Yeti was first reported by the British in the Himalayan mountains of Tibet, located between China and India, with findings of large footprints and other stories in the snowy Himalayan mountains. And since then, sightings have continued over the last 100 years. So basically, it's Asian Bigfoot. The Yeti can grow up to 15 feet tall and are mostly regarded as violent creatures. Now, honestly, to me, the Yeti just comes across as Bigfoot's more violent cousin. They kind of feel like what the polar bear is to the black bear. And with all the snow around, I'd assume the Yeti didn't get this big off eating nuts and berries. In the unfortunate chance that I run into a Yeti, I'd be in the Himalayan mountains, which is just fucked. Like, at least in the case of running from Bigfoot, it would probably be a nice forest with birds and butterflies and shit, you know? So even if it did kill me, the escape would be a bit more peaceful. Well, as peaceful as getting chased by a humanoid monster in the woods could possibly be. Versus running through the snow, which is extremely hard, by the way, damn near like running in sand at the beach, and it would be cold and gray and just depressing. So yeah, Yeti goes to the diarrhea tier. The next cryptid we got is the Cryptid. The Kraken is probably the oldest cryptid on this list, or possibly ever. The Kraken is said to be a giant sea beast that will pull down ships under the ocean, resembling a giant squid-like monster. Now, this cryptid may actually be real, with the existence of the colossal squid, which can grow up to 43 feet. Now, whether this is a cryptid monster or a colossal squid, this shit is terrifying. Maybe my fear of the deep ocean adds to this, but I don't see how you could be on a boat one day and see tentacles rise up from the water and lash into the sides of your boat and don't instantly mark your territory with a bucket load of chocolate milkshake. Honestly, this one might scare me more than the Wendigo, simply because I can't even try to run away. So this oversized calamari is easily going to the diarrhea myself tier. Now, for our last cryptid today, I felt like I'd go with the cuter one to keep myself from further staining my chair with Kinder Surprise. The Jackalope was first reported by early American settlers in Wyoming, cited as a jackrabbit with antlers. Yeah, that's it. Pretty simple. The legend soon became more popular in the 1930s when a man attached a pair of antlers to a rabbit head as a joke and would sell them to local businesses as wall mounts. So yeah, pretty chill, cute little guy, and I can't really knock him. He's just doing his thing. And as far as we know, jackalopes have never hurt anyone. Yet. But yeah, so our last cryptid today is an easy dap 'em up tier. Now, I know there's a lot more cryptids I could have added to this list, but this is already easily my longest video so far. So if anything, if you guys do like this one, I'll do a part 2. Let me know what your favorite or most feared cryptids are in the comments. And if you live in any of these places and are familiar with some of the local lore, feel free to share that in the comments as well. Also, if you're still watching this, we're on our way to 1K subs. So if you aren't subbed yet, it would be greatly appreciated. And if you have any friends that might like watching absolute bullshit on YouTube, feel free to let them know about the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Here.